Hello all, welcome back to One Pitch Catch. We have India New Zealand third T20 starting later today. India is currently 2-0 up. Two very comfortable wins. One which was primarily driven by the bowling, and the other where it was just a batting show all the way. When in the first match, India scored a pretty competent 238, and then they basically bundled out New Zealand, except for a little bit of lower order partnerships. It was pretty much a given at various points of time. And in the second match, it was just a batting show all the way, like India finishing it up in like probably 15 overs or something like that, chasing almost 210. So overall, and I think the other big positive was Suryakumar Yadav has had a couple of good knocks. He started off with probably a 30-ish or something like that. And then he really came into his own in the match, along with obviously Ishan Kishan scored sensationally. But Surya, I mean, Ishan scored 76 in 32 balls. Surya was not too far behind, 82 in 37
37.
balls. So yeah, he's pretty good. What did you see about India's batting and maybe the bowling as well?
Yes, thank you. I think obviously Surya Kumar's coming back to form is the major positive from these two games so far to India. Um, I mean, if I go into the game one and both the games, in fact, I think New Zealand bowling was not in the right place. Jaga. They were the first game. You could see India had scored heavily. I mean, they were. I think they were 217 at the end of the 19th over, and Santner had one over left as captain and as the primary bowler. He could have bowled the last over. Don't know. I mean, he also could have given the same 20 odd runs that Daryl Mitchell gave. Daryl Mitchell started his first over in the 20th
Yeah,
over
yeah,
of the game. Yes, it happens in T20s sometimes, but at sometimes when you don't have a bowler, somebody gets injured and all those things, you try one bowler in the 19th over or the 20th over. Or sometimes in IPL, you see people reserving a bowler to bowl one over or two over as 18th and 20th. But I don't think New Zealand got their strategy right by bowling Daryl Mitchell in the last over. Um, I mean, eventually it
was that the
became.
match where Michael Bracewell was injured? Maybe that played a part.
No, 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 no. That was the ODI, I think, right?
That was the ODIs. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
mixing
that
the
was the
two. Okay,
ODI. So Michael Russell has not been part of the 11 in
okay.
both these games so far. So I'm not sure he's still fit or not. But I think bowling plans were already from New Zealand, and even in the second game, I mean, yes, Kishan's innings made it a no contest. He completely took the game away in the first 8 overs. By the time we were 6 for 2 in like
Yeah,
seven
yeah,
balls, India started with 6 for 2. But then at the end of the sixth over or seventh over, India were going to win comfortably. So
yeah, yeah.
Ishan Kishan was completely made it a no contest. But even after Ishan Kishan got out, I mean, they didn't. I mean, they could have dragged the game till the 19th over
Correct.
or got a few more wickets and things like that. But they just didn't help. The line and lengths that the New Zealand bowlers, everybody, include the spinners and the fast bowlers. But the moment Ishan Kishan's innings came, I felt like they had given up and they
Yeah,
also
most
wanted to finish the match by the
finish
15th
fast.
over and get back. So it looked like that. And also their batting, I think the top order lacks power,
Hmm.
especially in these conditions. I don't know how they're going to fix it, but we have to fix it. They have to fix it in the next 10 days, given the way the World Cup is just
Yeah.
around the corner. Especially the World Cup's happening here. I hope, I mean, New Zealand generally come up with great performances in such ICC tournaments, but I hope they have to do something about this with their batting and bowling this time, which looks a little vulnerable if you are a New Zealand fan. Jaga.
Yeah, I think from a India perspective, they've had batting stars across both the matches so far. I mean, obviously, you had Abhishek in the first match, again playing, just doing his own thing. Uh, and of course, Ishan Kishan in the second match. Hardik played a very good hand in the
First
first
game.
match as well. But is there a worry about Sanju Samson?
Yeah, I mean, say you can say yes. Sanju's the both the way he's been get gotten out. He's gotten out in the two games is definitely a worrisome factor.
In fact,
But
I
I
think in
think
the second game, he could have been out first ball itself. There was a drop catch at
yes,
long
six. I
leg
mean,
or something like that.
he could have been the first scoring shot. Could have been he could have been out. It went for six, and then the next time he got out.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think he should be given a little more longer rope. Given the way that we are giving ropes to Harshit Rana, I mean, who's come off his own now and he's doing well. I mean, forget Harshit Rana. We were here. We are even giving a very long rope to Gautam Gambhir. The way we have been losing, we have lost two ODI series in the last three ODI series
Yeah,
we played. Tests, so we don't even have to talk about it. So when I think for Sanju, and also in defense of Sanju Samson, he was scoring hundreds. I mean, I think he got some 300s or 200s in
mm,
4 games last year. And then suddenly he was moved down the order to bat at six,
yeah,
7. And someone in one of the games when we had lost 8 wickets, he had not even batted. So those kind of
mm,
things have happened. We have moved him around up and down. So that can play. I mean, how much ever he says, I'm willing to do any role for the team, it will definitely play in his mind in terms of his confidence and things like that. So I hope he gets a longer rope. And but if he fails in the next 3 games that are coming up
yeah.
with New Zealand, it could be hard for him to find a place in the starting 11 in the World Cup. I feel because given the way that Ishan Kishan has scored runs and Tilak Verma is just only out of 11 because he's injured.
True. Yeah, yeah. I think even from a bowling perspective, I think Varun and Kuldeep have done decently. Arshdeep has been kind of okay. Hardik coming back has been good from a bowling perspective. So overall, I think a lot of boxes being ticked ahead of the World Cup. Let's see how the
But I'm
remaining
very
three
curious
games
to know
go.
how they are going to fit in because Aksar has been named the vice captain. So I'm assuming Aksar will play in the 11. But if Aksar is playing in the 11, then Varun, Kuldeep, and Aksar could be a little too much to ask for, right? In the 11.
Maybe, but at the same time, I think they did play a few tournaments together. I mean, notably, obviously, the Champions Trophy last year, all three of them played. Then you also had, I think, I'm pretty sure they were together in the Asia Cup as well. So I think they'll figure ways out. Like maybe it's Hardik opening the bowling along with Bumrah and Harshit maybe doesn't get all the games. Then you get five bowlers, right? You have three spinners and two seamers, and then maybe Shivam Dubey can bowl a couple of overs if needed. I'm pretty sure they'll work things out. Then
Yeah,
again, you never know.
yeah. So I am assuming that they are looking at the first two spinners would be Varun and Aksar is my gut feel. I feel Jaga if they are playing two spinners.
Yeah, most likely, yes, correct.
Hmm.
Because,
So
yeah, Kuldeep may not necessarily be the first choice pick. But going back to the batting, this batting style that you see from the likes of Abhishek or Ishan Kishan or even Hardik and Sanju also, that's basically baseball, right? I mean, I don't care about what the score is. It's 6-4-2. I'm still going to go for it right from ball one. So, what's the big deal? Why do we get so pissed off about England? Playing basketball, or is it like ஒரு பொறாமை மாதிரி they are doing something innovative, something like that?
No, I don't think it's envy because the England don't have the results to show for Jaga.
Okay.
Though they started initially well in the first
Yeah.
4 or 5 games that they played with this new baseball approach. I mean, there are ads that call this sky ball, no? The way India bats.
ஆமாம். Yeah, yeah.
So sky ball. I mean, I think it is okay to play like that in T20s because in fact India for a long time was very conservative playing
Correct. Yeah, that's
T20s
true.
like ODIs. I mean, Virat Kohli considered it as a 40% of a
Correct. Yeah, yeah.
ODI game, and he batted like that. And not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Virat Kohli, a lot of the entire batting order was batting like that. Now, and also when you go berserk and get all out in 18 overs, scoring 220, it is still a winnable score. It's a defendable,
Yeah,
winnable
in a
score
T20, yes.
in a T20 game. But when you're staring down the barrel at 90 for six and still go hammer and tongs in a test match, it doesn't work, Jaga.
Yeah, okay, fair
So
enough.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
we have to
nice
bring
pair.
basketball into every video, so that's why I was asking.
Nice parallel, but I don't think. I mean, you're trying to. I mean, McCullum would be very happy to hear that somebody is justifying baseball. Hmm.
Anyway, so going back to the World Cup, there is now the news that Scotland have replaced Bangladesh in the T20 World Cup. Obviously, this came in after maybe almost an issue dragging out for probably two plus. I think Jan 2nd or 3rd is when this started. It's almost 3 weeks now. First with the objection, some random guy's objection about Mustafizur playing in the IPL. KKR is then instructed by the BCCI to drop Mustafizur. That then cascades into protests. Already there were protests. Already India and Bangladesh's relationships haven't been too good over the last year, diplomatic wise, and then Bangladesh escalates the issue. What did you make of all of this?
I mean, I think it was unnecessary escalation from Bangladesh BCB's view side. I am sure they would have they knew that only Pakistan Cricket Board was on their side. See,
Hmm.
probably, I mean, that's what I heard. Only Pakistan and Bangladesh voted in favor of moving Bangladesh games, and nobody else voted. So I think Bangladesh need, knowing their position in the cricket world, they need not have blown this soap to out of proportion, so that at the end of the day they are the ones who are going to face losses. I read
Yeah.
somewhere they are going to face losses somewhere around 240 crores or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Yeah, because they won't get the participation fee, and maybe there's other ICC revenue. They
So,
won't
so
divide it with them, right?
yeah. So I just read today morning that they're going to lose so close to 240 crores. So which is it is unfathomable given the state of their country, their
Yeah.
finances, of course, and all those things. I think they could have been a little more submissive. I mean, playing an ICC tournament in is not going to do them any harm. It's going to make them the revenue. So I think they were too stubborn about it. I feel. I mean, overall, you can argue that ICC also could have accommodated it, but from personally I feel BCB was more adamant than ICC. No, especially knowing their place in world cricket, they could have been a little more accommodative, is what I feel.
Yeah, and I think they could have just I think I think three parties, right? One is BCB, second is BCCI, third is ICC. They could have just sat down and BCCI could have told the BCB, look, it was just a one-off thing. It's now not highly unlikely to keep happening. We'll make sure that you have enough security to play here, and that should have really been it. I mean, unnecessarily you're just escalating the whole thing, and the whole tournament is in like a okay, who's going to play what? Will Bangladesh play in Sri Lanka? Will they? There was also some proposal about let's move Bangladesh from this group to another group and things like that. So it just was a lot of ambiguity for a lot of time. But then, in a sense, you've got used to that maybe in most tournaments in Asia or involving some of these countries, like Champions Trophy being moved, part of the tournament being moved to Dubai and things like that. Yeah, I completely avoidable. I think Bangladesh tried to punch above their weight and it just didn't quite work out. I mean, when you and Pakistan are cricket board are the only ones that are voting for a resolution. I mean, I'm pretty sure India wouldn't have voted for it. Sri Lanka wouldn't have voted for it. Most likely, Australia and England are going to side with India. That basically only leaves you with South Africa and who else? New
West
Zealand.
Indies,
Come
West
on.
Indies, New
And
Zealand.
West Indies. West Indies is not going to side with anything that's other than India. And New Zealand will say, no, I mean, New Zealand is getting good revenue when we tour there and we are allowing them to win here and all those things, right? So,
So
so yeah, it was
you
just a bad choice, I think.
I don't know. I mean, see, having Pakistan on your side, you should know that you're not going to win that battle. See, Pakistan
Yeah, having
tried.
only Pakistan. If you had Pakistan and somebody else, that's different.
So see, Pakistan tried to make India play in Pakistan in the Champions trophies. So much they tried. The past players can
Yeah,
come out and saying this, that. I mean, of course, PCB giving a lot of assurances. Didn't happen. Just didn't happen. So it
yeah,
happened. I
yeah.
mean, India played in Dubai and eventually won the Champions trophy also. So
Correct,
having
yeah.
only Pakistan on the side did not. I
Because
don't know
this
how.
same threat would not have worked for India, right? See, here ICC is able to tell Bangladesh, if you don't show up, somebody else will.
Yeah.
That won't work for BCCI.
Of course, of course, of course. So I don't know what gave them the
Right.
confidence of going against it, Bangladesh.
Yeah, on a kind of related note in terms of confidence, like Sarfaraz Khan, just going to a different topic. Sarfaraz Khan has been scoring runs for fun, mainly in Syed Mushtaq Ali and Vijay Hazare Trophy. He scored like a 15 ball 50 or something
Yeah, yeah. But
recently.
but they lost
When
that game. Mumbai lost that game.
he lost the game.
But
But do you think it will help him?
and in fact, I mean, 2 days back in Ranji also he scored a 200, 220
He
plus
scored 200, yes.
200 at a 120 strike rate.
Yeah.
So all that I think he's trying to impress only Dhoni and Stephen Fleming to get a place in the 11 in CSK. Now
Okay.
that he's been picked because that is the best way to get into the India Test team. Because if he gets into the
Okay.
IPL level and score runs, what will happen?
Oh,
He
you
will
get
be
picked for India because of you get picked for right ball cricket on the basis of white ball. Whether as a player or as a coach, that's the same rules.
that's the same
Okay.
thing. So he wants to play in the 11 at CSK to score and hoping to score a lot of runs so that he can go to Sri Lanka for the test tour.
Okay. Nice. Nice.
Hmm.
Dirghadर्शी பார்வை இருக்குது.
So he
Okay.
has good plans in mind.
Yeah, cool. On that note, yeah, we'll just wrap it. So we do have, like I said, the T20s are going on. There's also the Under 19 World Cup, which is still in its infancy stages. WPL is going on. We'll come back again next week with a different roundup. Until then, thanks a lot. Keep watching, keep subscribing. Please do leave us your feedback. Bye.
You